podcast with Michael Rattay. I am of Bullbrain Creative. Today I'm chatting with Michael Plageman of American Family Insurance. I met Michael through a networking event, and his story I think was interesting, and we had a good conversation, and so I wanted to dive a little deeper into getting his own office and just general philosophy on life. So, hello, Michael.
Hi, good morning, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
Thank you. I'm doing great. Thank you very much for coming in today.
You are very welcome. It is insanely wet outside. It's raining literal cats and dogs. But thankfully there was a parking garage that I was able to walk into, and the equipment will be safe.
Good. Well, we also have some umbrellas around, so we can help you out on your way home today.
Perfect. Thank you. So let's dive into at least this. So how long have you actually had either the office or the business in general?
Well, I have to say it seems like it's been a lifetime, and we put in a lot of time to take care of our customers. But my business is about 2 years old. I took over the business from someone who has been around for a very long time. So I have some customers that have had policies with us for 20, 30, 40 years.
Nice.
And so there's a lot of longevity in our business, and we have team members and parts of our organization that have a tremendous amount of experience in addition to the business experience that we bring to the table.
And so did you inherit, so was it a relationship that you had and that you were working for the previous owner, or how did that?
No, I picked American Family Insurance. So I approached American Family and wanted to be part of their organization as a business owner. And so then we worked together on finding a location and putting that plan together.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
This is I don't know, how many, there's a couple different offices here. It's like a mixed use. It's good. I think the environment is probably perfect to your personality, where it's not just corporate. It's very open. It's a lot of cool stuff going on.
Yeah, we have two offices. We have one office in Park Ridge, and this is our Chicago office in Lakeview. And what I love about this office is that it's very happening. It's very lively. We have people coming in to go to the gym, to get their hair cut, to go to a movie. And then we also have people coming in for business services and training and daycare and all kinds of activities in the building. So we're able to take care of their business needs in addition to their lifestyle needs. And for me, it's a lot of fun to be in such a lively part of town as well.
Yeah,
so that's amazing. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We get out and we're involved in the community as much as possible. And for me, a good day is being able to have customers come in that we haven't met before, and that they've maybe come through and have gone to the gym at night or Googled us and came in that way. And then also by going out and meeting customers in their place of business in the area.
Right. That's so. As we're recording, what was it, last week or 2 weeks ago? You did the Andersonville Fest.
We did, yeah, which is an incredible event. It's always been a very welcoming committee for our organization and community for us. So we sponsored the festival. We had a team of 5 people that worked most of the weekend. So we split off time to time to go out and talk to other vendors that were there, but we were passing out pride bracelets and stickers and animal crackers to kids. But it was just an awesome way to engage with the community. So we don't go there to really talk about insurance. We go there to, show some love for the community. And of course, our signage says we're an insurance company. So one of the best things that happens there is that people just come up and ask us about their house policy or about a landlord policy, and are you able to do this kind of specific policy, and can you help us with workers' comp? And so then we're able to answer some of those specific questions, and we get a ton of business out of it. But for me, I got in this business because I wanted to be in the community. I wanted to be out and about, and I wanted to be involved in the Chamber of Commerce there and the other 3 chambers of commerce that we're involved in. Those are our lifelines. That's where my blood kind of starts to pump a little bit by being out in the community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's as with starting my business too. it's just a whole new world opening up, getting into these chambers of commerce, and it's really, that's like marketing number one, at least, where you're going there and you're helping people, but you're not pitching your thing, but through helping people, they're like, oh, I appreciate them, I like their interests, I like their beliefs.
Absolutely.
Then they do people do business with people they like.
Absolutely. You know, you can go and volunteer at a food pantry and be stuffing, you know, boxes and bags of things that they're going to give away to people that come there for food. And I'm not talking about insurance, but somebody asks you, what do you do? And it ends up turning into something. So typically people always harass me because I have something with my logo on at all times. Which is fun. And so we just came out with these new socks that have our logo. So even if I don't have a shirt on, I can still have my socks with my logo.
That's good. See, and that's love. So you like, it's what you really love to do.
It's what I love to do. Yeah, I just need a dog shirt for Gizmo. Gizmo's my little Shih Tzu.
Oh.
And he's our chief puppy officer, so.
I did notice the bed, as I was wondering.
We have a dog bed and dog food and dog treats in both offices, so.
Perfect. Well, everyone is very supportive of pups in Lakeview, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely. Very dog friendly. Very, very dog friendly.
A lot of water bowls on places you wouldn't even expect. But so you're in these chambers. How many are you in?
So 4 chambers of commerce, Lakeview East, which is where I live and also where this office is. The LGBT Chamber of Commerce, which is also local here, but across the entire state, Andersonville Chamber of Commerce, and then also the Park Ridge Chamber of Commerce. So Park Ridge is where my first office was started, and that's where I got my start, and that's where really we get so much of our business from the suburbs as well, is from that location. And so we're very involved in that community and have a team of staff members involved in the community there as well. So I really love it because we have the best of both worlds. We have the city where we're doing condos and apartments and lots of businesses that are tucked in every direction of the city. And then in the suburbs, we do a lot of single-family homes and multiple cars. And let's make sure that we get the pool covered for the right liability. But here in the city, we do things. It's just a little bit different. We do with old brownstones and make sure that we have the right coverage for those. Yeah. So it's very unique.
Did you get started in Park? Did you used to live in Park Ridge, or how did that become a thing?
No, it was a market that made sense for because of the type of community. Terrific opportunity for growth in for our brand for American Family Insurance, and the number of single family homes and the receptivity in the community in the Park Ridge Chamber of Commerce. And the business leaders there. So we rebranded the office, had an open house. The mayor came out and did a ribbon cutting with us. So it was a pretty fun way to get to relaunch the business there. So, and then we started this office in August of last year.
Okay, that's good. Community support is huge.
Absolutely.
And I think in essence that kind of creates the business. So before I even answer that question, what would you think has contributed to the success? Would it start with the community and just being so local, and then?
It's definitely the relationships from being local. So we're really fortunate that our phone rings, and it's because we've gotten to know so many people. We've said yes to a lot of opportunities to do small local events and to do little advertisements. So I had an organization that was doing a nonprofit booklet, and they asked me to do an ad. It was $30. I felt guilty, like I should have given them more than $30. But so we've said yes to a lot of those things, and we said yes to more things in our first year than most agents ever spend in their 10th year of business. So we sponsored an organization that gives shelter to battered girls called the Harbor. Oh. And so we helped raise money for them. We did a coat and toy drive for Cradles for Crayons with some other business owners. And so we did a kids cancer walk last year. And so we go to these things. It's not like we're a vendor that sells hot dogs. So we're not making money the day of the event.
Right.
We're there because we believe in these causes. And then later on, we tend to find that people are more interested in doing business with us because of that. So, and it's incredibly important to me. My career actually started in nonprofits. So I worked in nonprofit management before I ever got into the corporate world. So there's this side of me that craves the intrinsic value, the soft side of what we do for creating peace of mind and
Right.
that sort of bottom part of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, making sure that you have those things covered so that you go up in that triangle. We're able to help with some of those other things as well. So so the nonprofit background that I have definitely is very, very, very satisfied by insurance, and then the business side of me enjoys just the growth and the marketing
Right.
and the opportunity to network. Those two things just come together for me.
I wasn't aware of how many different events either you sponsored or that nonprofit background, but the second you said that, that makes a ton of sense. And see, and that's what with my previous life of, you're like, at least you're doing something you really love because you can kind of finance the other things that you love even more.
Right.
Which is so important, which
Yeah.
they need it. And they need good spokespeople. They need people that are, everyone needs kind of subsidization. And so to have, to give back, that's amazing.
Absolutely.
The nonprofit, did you have a sector like?
So I worked in two different organizations. One was a children's organization that focused on recreation and youth development, Boy Scouts of America. And so I did that when I first came out of college. I was an Eagle Scout growing up and decided instead of going into my international business career that I wanted to do something different for a while. So I was in the scouting program for a couple of years, and then I went into nonprofits with an HIV/AIDS care coordination organization and did a lot of donor development and special events and learned how to get corporate dollars for funding. And then from there, I went into the corporate world, actually in insurance services. I spent 14 years in management consulting, which was my way of doing the corporate work that I always wanted to do, sales and business development, working with global businesses in oil and gas and mining, manufacturing, being in the Middle East for meetings, being in Europe and Amsterdam for global meetings, and Houston and San Diego. Anywhere you can imagine, we were working on every continent in the country. And so I love that. I fed off of it. But then I also wanted to get back involved in my community. So being in Chicago, I've only lived in Chicago for 5 years. So I wanted to find a way to get involved with the community again. So I was kind of glued to my phone and my laptop at home, or I wasn't in town. So this was the perfect opportunity to find a business that would get me involved in the community. And so I tried to think of a way to find a community staple, and that's what I look at. I look at insurance as being a community staple, much like you might think of, a real estate agent or an attorney of some kind or a CPA. So I wanted to get into a business like that.
And yeah, you did it, and you're really doing it with the sponsorships. I think that's probably the best way to really find your roots. I mean, you're just supporting the things you want to support, and then everything piles on top of that where you're supported and people like your personality.
And it actually, you know what, it aligns perfect with with our corporate culture. Our hashtag is Dream Fearlessly. And our CEO talks about giving back to the community and standing up for what you believe in, and being a part of, the communities. And we do events across the country that help other organizations and feed the homeless and take care of community by building houses and giving back to organizations that we care about. So they're very, very supportive of that, and I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's key, especially for a corporation, because there's definitely two different roads.
There is.
So when they're on the road that you believe in.
Yeah. So I specifically picked American Family Insurance out of the other companies I talked to because they had a 100% score with HRC. So the Human Rights Council, 100% index with the with their LGBT and their use of and well, their diversity within their workforce and having the right
Gotcha.
kind of, measures in place and systems in place to make it a very friendly place for their employees. So I knew as a business owner that I wanted to work for a company that had those kind of measures in place for their employees. And so I love that we're able to support the communities that we're interested in. So whether it's the LGBT community or these girls that are battered that are living in a temporary shelter, or any other organization, or the scouts that are going out camping. I love all those organizations. So that's all really pretty important to me.
Yeah, that's good. And you're putting your money where your mouth is, which is, I know later on, I saw so many people in corporate life that did not do that, and I'm feeling really guilty that I don't that I don't volunteer enough now after talking to you. So I'm going to change that. But that's the true test of character, I think,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, because then, because people, you could talk a game, but then really, how do they do when no one really is paying attention?
Yeah.
And
It's also opened up my love for the community too. So a friend of mine plays in Lakeside Pride band ensembles, and so he has performed with them for a few years. I went to go see a couple of shows, and then I thought, well, let's advertise in their book. And so I've been able to do that and get to know people. And so now I have like this new love and passion for a performing arts that's right here in my community that has such a great, strong message for doing right things. And so it's definitely been a way for me just to get to know the community as well and find other passions.
that's interesting. And that's also, that's clearly you're doing marketing 101. Was that, but 101 not to like as a, slight. That's legit. It's hard to, I don't know, you built the business around the things you believe in. And that, at the end of the day, is so hard for so many different businesses to really be ethical.
Yeah.
And so clearly ethics are your thing.
It's definitely really important to me. It's the backbone. And so I believe the basics in any business are the things that get you started and keep you on the right path. So those basics will keep you and growing as well. So, just like building a business and cold calling works early on and it works later on as well. So, and then you broaden your plan and you do other things, but you keep doing the basics of what you do as well. So same thing with treating your staff the way that you want to be treated.
Right.
So that's just part of our culture.
Yeah, that's good. I want to ask about interests. I feel like I have an idea already.
Okay.
But still, you still travel, or like what's?
I love to travel.
Yeah.
Absolutely love to travel. So in the last 2 years, the only traveling I've done though has been company trips.
It's okay.
Yeah. So we've had a couple of national meetings that have been in some warmer places, and that's been fun. Beach destination, Dallas at this really cool old hotel called the Gaylord Hotel, which is this big sprawling complex. And so, but I do love to travel. Europe is definitely a passion of mine. I speak a little bit of French, so anytime I can get in Paris, I can walk around without a map and just go where I want to go.
Really?
So I love that.
Nice.
Absolutely. And I know my favorite restaurants to go to, my favorite bakeries, and favorite places to shop. I love it. So anytime I get the opportunity to travel. So for me, a vacation can be a warm beach destination, which is very relaxing. But I'd rather go someplace that has some culture.
Right.
But it doesn't have to be a total tour where you're trying to learn something all day long.
Right.
I like to also just go and be at a coffee shop, maybe go to a play. And I know enough French to be dangerous, but I went to see a play one time about Godzilla coming to life because of someone's iPhone in Paris, and they activated it through their iPhone by accident. And I didn't understand a lot of the play, but I had a great time,
Right.
And I was just in this itsy bitsy little small theater like you might find right here on Broadway or Halsted Street. And I loved it because I was doing something that maybe a local would do.
Right.
So that's something I really love to do too.
Those are those are still community values as you travel, just being appreciative and respectful of the community you're in.
Yeah.
Anywhere you go.
Yeah.
And that's, the coffee shop in any city is really kind of how you get to know the people. I mean, I couldn't agree more. So that was my next question. What do you like? What's your favorite? So France, Paris, that's the top?
Absolutely. Yeah, for my 40th birthday, I rented a car and drove through Paris around the Champs-Élysées and around the Arc de Triomphe and out through some of the chateaus in the Loire Valley. So that was a fantastic birthday.
How's their driving?
Their driving is crazy. So, and I was crazy too.
You gotta dive into
Yeah,
culture.
absolutely. And I made sure the car was well covered just in case.
See,
That's the insurance mind.
Well,
Yeah. So I absolutely love that.
I don't, because I'm thinking I went to France 12 years ago or something, but recently I've been in Italy.
Oh yeah.
Rome and Naples was the most insane driving I've ever seen. And I don't know if they're compare. Naples is beyond anything. There's just chaos. I feel like Rome and Paris might be fairly similar.
Yeah, I've driven in Rome as well.
did?
So just in the last couple of years, I rented a car in Rome and drove through a lot of countryside to go to some small towns, up to see the Tower of Pisa, and I got a parking ticket to prove it. So because I don't speak Italian, so I didn't know I couldn't park there.
Right.
And I never had a ticket on the car. They take a picture of your license plate and they send it to you. So, so that was expensive. But I made that. So it is crazy to drive in Europe, but it's worth it. Go for it, experience it, see what happens. And then I drove to Venice. And of course, I couldn't get into Venice because you need a boat for that. And my car didn't float.
Right. Just leave it.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah. But Venice is cool. Have you been to Venice?
No, that's the one that I want to.
It's really neat.
We stayed south.
So if you have a business in Venice or a home in Venice, your front door has a little ledge in the front where you can put down little barriers so that when the water rises, the water doesn't come in your front door or the back door. And so sometimes I understand there are certain times of the year where the water is over top of the sidewalk.
Wow.
And so you walk around in some kind of, galosh or something.
Right.
Which was really unusual for me to hear that.
Right.
Quite amazing.
We kind of deal with that today, but it's
Right,
not.
right.
That's a
you
little
were
different.
you're almost washed away today. So
I'm half. That's why at least we're above, so you can't see how wet my pants are and my shoes.
there you go. Like the guy with the conference call who's doing it on the beach with a shirt and a tie and his swim trunks.
Just a towel behind. So you can't see. So travel. So that's have you done Australia?
I haven't. I would do that.
I would. But that's on the list.
Yeah.
Because you need 2 days. I mean, just to get there. Well, it's like 4 days to just reset your mind to where you are.
I think that would be neat. The Middle East was a great experience for me. So I was in Abu Dhabi and Dubai and in the UAE for work. And this was in 2000, probably 15, 2016.
Definitely built.
Yeah, it was really built up. And so Abu Dhabi was work, and then I went to Dubai for a long weekend, which was just for fun. And stayed at an amazing hotel overlooking the city. And it's just incredible because you could walk through the old part of the city as well and see the souks and the different like spice market and the jewelry area and the gold market, and things like that. So that's an incredible place to go to. Very unique if you've never been to the Middle East.
Never.
Yeah.
Did you drive there?
No. I think that would have been illegal. I don't know. I'm not sure that the same privileges exist there.
Yeah, that's what I'd wonder. So travel. So what else is there? So you're clearly occupied around here with a lot of community events. Are there theater Do you do music or restaurants?
So I was able to see Hamilton, and what was amazing is that it was just full of hair-raising experiences. So goosebumps, hair standing up, and the seats that I had were on the first floor, so you could see everything pretty well. There was a little bit of the balcony that cut off the part, and so I went like this a few times, but I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. It was amazing. It was perfect. The music was perfect. The most unique show I've ever seen. So I do love to get out and see other performing arts as well. Going to restaurants, I love this. I love to go to restaurants that I know the manager, the owner, you know. So I like to support those that support others. So I do that a lot, but I love to sample really good food. So I love to, go down to Michigan Avenue and find a great place. Acanto is one of my favorite Italian restaurants.
Where's that?
It's across from the Art Museum on Michigan Avenue.
I don't think I've been there. All right. Put it away.
Andersonville is full of good restaurants as well. So
that's the nice thing about Chicago. It's nice and unfortunate because you may catch a 2 or 3 year stretch where you get something that may not be there. But the nice thing, like with bands and anything, like they're probably still doing it just somewhere else. But you get that unique kind of experience when you go.
Definitely. I've done Ravinia many times. I haven't done it all yet this year. So it's one of those things that in Chicago you never know what the weather's going to be.
Right.
So if I went to go see Lady Gaga a couple of years ago, and so unfortunately it was the night that just like this year where all of a sudden it's warm and hot and then it rains and it becomes cold. And I swear it was 45 degrees and raining, and I was sitting underneath a tarp trying to listen to Lady Gaga. So I will never do that again. No matter how much I pay for the tickets, I will not freeze watching a show. I would just leave. Yeah. But so that's fun. I do love to go to the Cubs games. I'm not really that much of a fan. But of course, being in Chicago and living right here in Wrigleyville, I love the Cubs. I love what they do for the community. I have their license plate on my car. So, and it's it's just a great way to get together with friends and even customers and referral sources. We do that. And it's right here at my back door. Yeah. And so there was a time last year I had one ticket. I had 4 tickets and somebody wanted 3 of them. So I had one ticket and I literally just went there, walked through the ballpark, took a couple selfies and went home. I'm like, this is great. I'm 4 blocks from home and I'll just go home.
That's funny.
Yeah. Which is it's a neat experience.
Yeah, the ballpark is a nice day out. That's usually the best place to be.
Yeah.
There was actually back to the Park Ridge office, there was that new one that opened right off of 294. Have you seen that? Impact Field?
I haven't seen it yet, but I have heard about it, and I'm talking to somebody about maybe doing an event there. So I hear it's supposed to be really, really nice and very attainable, very easy to get access. So it's not going to be too expensive.
No, I went to a pre-opening there. And
you did?
Yeah, it was beautiful. They really did a nice job. And so actually I was able to film. It was cool.
You probably have all kinds of tickets everywhere. You go around doing films and you've got tickets.
No, I wish. I'm open though. I'm
going to tag you. Free tickets for Mike.
Yeah, please bring them. Yeah, I know. It was a good day. I'd like to go there because that's near the house. So let's see. So travel. We did travel. We did interests. Music. You big on music around here? Are there just not?
I turn on my radio or my XM music and whatever's on is fine. So. It's never been a real passion of mine. I mostly just listen to remixed music, so I like things that kind of just keep you going. So
that's right, upbeat and that's good.
Yeah. But of course, I love Lady Gaga and Adele. I think she's amazing. But I also love a lot of the stuff that my grandparents used to listen to in their huge Cadillac that was 79 feet long. So we would listen to. Nat King Cole and Frank Sinatra and a lot of the old stuff too. So
Crooners.
absolutely love those guys. So those are some of my go-tos as well. So
Right.
very diverse mix of music if you were to look at a playlist of mine,
Yeah.
which I lost recently. So I have to figure out if I can save it somehow. I know. Isn't that sad when that happens?
It's very sad. Like Spotify or like a music like MP3s.
MP3s on my
MP3s.
phone, yeah.
Yeah, that's sad. That's very sad. That's like the lifeblood of me, at least.
I think that's part of the reason why I'm just hitting the button. Whatever's on is what's on. So
The list, yeah.
yeah.
I will. So back to that diversity, though. I think we're at the greatest time to be diverse because now we can actually access it without record players or 8-track. Like $20 CDs, and which is people complain about it, and I know as an artist it's tough sometimes, but there's so much stuff you can get exposure to that you would not have experienced.
Right.
And that's more. It's more, I think.
It really is. I think it's incredible because you can stream things, listen to things, you can,
that you imagined about before. And like
absolutely. And think about it on the books, books and movies and everything. So I can, be at home and access movies from around the world and be on my phone and access anything. We like to do that for our customers too. So, reach me any way you want to.
Good man. So how about artist? Are you a visual artist by chance? Do you do photography or anything, or are you just...
No, I don't. So, so there was a
enjoy.
time in my life when I needed art for my walls, when I'd bought a new house when I was very young. And so I decided to make some art that was more like arts and crafts art.
Okay.
But I still have a couple of the pieces that turned out pretty nice. And but I'm not an artist by any stroke of the imagination. So, but I do love colorful things, and
appreciate it.
I love to go biking. So this is a piece that I've owned a couple of times in my life. The first time I had it, I accidentally sold it with the house that I sold furnished, and so then I had to find it again. And of course, it's just a print, a replica. So I found it again, and I knew that it had to be here in my office. So I love to bike along Lakeshore Drive and to be out there as much as possible. There's just something awesome about connecting with nature that brings you kind of back to no stress and just feeling in touch with yourself. So
Peace.
I love that. That piece is great. Yeah, it's really, really good. It also makes me want to go to the gym more because then I see everybody who's been at the gym the entire winter while I've been eating ice cream.
Yeah. Like, motivation.
Yeah.
So that was so I was going to ask, you got Lakeshore. Have you done either the Botanical Trail or is that the North Shore? Have you done that stretch?
No, I haven't done that. I haven't done that yet.
I don't know where you're Park Ridge, but like they're at I think there's one right at Lawrence and I can't think of it. But it starts right around there, and you can get to the Botanical Gardens, and it's a really nice one. I
would like to do that.
It's worth it.
We should get a group together and do that.
That's worth it. It's
That'd be
so
good.
worth it. The other
No
one.
videos though.
No, that's so low. That's too shaky. Have you ever done the Prairie Path?
No.
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 So I grew up in Elmhurst, so it was the western suburbs.
Okay.
And it was just this it goes out, I think, all the way to Warrenville.
Oh.
So you could really go,
Wow.
but it starts in Oak Park,
Yeah.
goes out to like.
So my kind of biking is more, under 20 miles, under 30 miles. That's as
That's
much
legit.
as I need.
That's still really good.
Yeah. So if it's just a quick little bike ride after work, it doesn't even have to be that far. So.
Well, you're right by the lake. I mean, that's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. If I go from where I live down to Navy Pier and back, that's fantastic. And get a couple of good pictures and quick little post, and I'm good to go.
Successful day. Yeah. All right. Well. Final thoughts? I don't know. What else should we... are there any... What else should we talk about?
I don't know. It's just like when you read the will and final thoughts of what you're going to have.
I feel like just more takeaways from you.
Yeah.
If you feel like... So the business... I don't know. I'll probably edit this out. That's also why I'm okay to talk.
Yeah. Okay.
So business, you did, got the history. Is there anything that I missed that we touched on a lot of interests and philosophical beliefs?
Yeah.
Anything that you're missing?
No, I, so I don't have a family of my own, so I don't have that to talk about. So,
You support community, so
yeah.
that's huge, and
Yeah.
that's a good interest, and that's just shows personality.
I don't know. What else would it be?
Right. How about talk about? Well, I'll ask. I kind of know this, but I think I'll ask it about just to be. We kind of touched on this beginning, but okay. So your success, doing well. It seems to be very community rooted, and just believing, just truly following passions that you believe in, and through that the business sort of again bloomed because you were supporting things, and then people support you. Is there any other thing that you would see for either people like starting out with a business that you've worked for you, or?
Sure. Well, so definitely being involved in the community and doing the things that we've talked about has been very helpful. And then also being able to spend time developing processes and understanding how to track your success and having a plan. So December is typically one of the slowest months of the year for an insurance agent like myself. But December of last year was the biggest month we ever had,
Wow.
and that's because we planned to make it the biggest month we ever had. And so we spent more time and energy prospecting and wanting our book of business to grow for that month. So as we look across the different months of the year, if there's a time of the year that's tends to be slower, let's plan to fix that. So the only way to fix that in the future is to fix it 1 year at a time, 1 month at a time for that. So for us, it's been about business planning, having, a strategy and goals that are multifaceted, and having everyone understand what they are and understand their role in that. Yeah. So there are times that we have a month that will be off, and that is something that can happen even with a plan. But if we're tracking the right things, we're working on the right processes, and everybody understands their roles, their responsibilities for that, then we, know that we will be successful over time. And so that's what we've been doing, is building that repertoire of procedures and processes for our team. So it's easy to just answer the phone or just work on the next thing, but how do we prioritize those things? How do we make the business function as a business versus just a reaction of what happens every day?
You kind of said that too. The other thing, you're changing the circumstance as well. Like, you literally don't just let it happen to you. You make the opportunity, and that's kind of what it sounds like. So people could get into the funk of like, okay, December's slow, I'll take it off.
Right.
But if you're not there, then it's going to feed on itself, and it will be slow.
Yeah.
However, if you're planning to make it busy.
Yeah, we want to plan to spend a lot of money in marketing in 2018. So in December 2017, let's make a lot of sales so we can help pay for that. And that's a lot of what we did in the last month of the year. And the investment that we've made in staff and, marketing, that has been part of our plan. So in order to support that, we have to do the actions to make it justified.
In this, would you say, did you learn a lot of this with the consulting? Did this kind of set you up, seeing all those different businesses and the way they operate? Did that sort of, you internalized it, or books?
Yeah,
or?
so it definitely, a lot of it has definitely come from me. From the past experiences I had in the consulting business. We did a lot of lean management implementations, a lot of process improvements, efficiency improvements, and a lot of different kind of companies. But I'm not, and I was not a practitioner during that time. I was in sales, so it's picking up all the sound bites and all the spreadsheets and all the presentations and all the things that I've learned through all the presentations that that we had conducted over the years, and then all the things that we do as American Family. So, as our corporate office is improving their efficiency and productivity, how do they teach us to do things that will work at the agency level? So we're all independent business owners, but there are ways that we can start to improve our processes as well. And so there's been a huge influx of information and support for that to happen. So it's really a cross of the two.
And just being open, as the biggest takeaway I heard from that is literally paying attention to every single thing around you.
Yeah.
And using the good.
Absolutely. I mean, I can remember being in a mining operation and looking at these just humongous machines that carry, I mean, that's as big as a house. These trucks that carry, dirt that go and get processed.
Yeah.
And they're counting how much material is in there to a steel pelleting operation. They're melting down these huge ladles of material in order to produce pellet. Well, they're measuring everything. And then go into a oil drill bit factory and look at how they're constructing the tips of these bits and how they're actually looking at the measurement and productivity of their team. Well, everybody's measuring it in the field and also in their offices. So why wouldn't we measure it here in our office too? So I measure how much food I have at home in my pantry before I go shopping. So I better measure how much my team and how much I'm able to do as well.
Right. Paying attention and adjusting. That's interesting. Okay. With that could almost be a whole new can of worms.
Yeah.
Do you, okay.
That might have been kind of boring too.
No,
but.
well, I want it to be, business, it's business and philosophical, and I think they're kind of one and the same, and so boring is still relevant and important.
Right.
It's not sexy, but it's still the thing that you need.
Right.
So
right.
It's okay. I don't know.
We spend time as a team every week to have a staff meeting, and then we do meetings over the course of the week that are more informal, that talk about our metrics and where we are on different performance indicators. And we talk about how many people did we go out and give business cards to, or how many people did we give boxes of animal crackers to that we have a business card tied to. We say thank you for your referral. Or how many people did we call in the Chamber of Commerce to say thank you for also being in the Chamber of Commerce, let's get to know each other.
Right.
How many one-on-one meetings did we have? What can we track that will give us an indication that I didn't sell a policy today, but I did these 10 other things that still measure success for the business. So.
And down the line could pay dividends kind of thing. Yes.
Yeah.
The process, rather. That's probably what I want to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that's a good summation in general. I feel like that's a good personality. We got to really see who you are, which is nice. Very caring. I think that was it. Anyone that's really starting something, any advice? Which you kind of just did, right? Pay attention to the process. Things you can track, things you can measure, and then adjust accordingly.
Yeah, and just expect the unexpected all the time. So every time you have an emotional reaction to something going wrong, there will always be another one. So you can fill up the air in all four tires and drive down the road, but eventually a different tire is going to have a leak, or the same one will again. So, or nail, whatever it's going to be. So, one day your office may not have power because the building had a short and there was a flood. We've had that happen. Somebody's sick and they're not coming in, and they're the ones who had 4 appointments for the day, and so suddenly you're trying to merge that with your schedule.
Right.
And then you get called to go and participate in another training event or something that you need to do, that all these things are important. And you're also trying to make sure you get, payroll entered in so everybody gets paid.
Right.
All of those things are things that happen, and some of them are standard things that happen, and some of them are things that the timing gets changed, maybe because of a holiday, maybe because of, a certain time of month and trying to meet goals. So there will always be something. So.
Which goes back to Boy Scouts as you're talking. I just
Be
immediately
prepared,
thought
my
of it.
friend. That's right.
That's it. That's funny. I've talked a couple other people that I talked to had that did very well for themselves. Where they brought that up, be prepared, and I was like, that's a theme. Don't get emotional. Don't get overly emotional.
I still have my patrol leader little book. And you basically, in that book, you took attendance and you marked down the activities that you do every week, So all the things that you did as a patrol for your team, whether you're going camping or having a meeting or an activity, you put it in that book. So, I've been doing that since I was, 12, 14, whatever age you start. So that's just, you keep doing it in life.
Your habits just expand into life.
I think I'm going to bring that book to work.
It'll probably be cool.
Yeah, we're the Hawk Patrol, by the way.
Really?
From Upland, Indiana.
I don't know what I was.
How's that for a memory jogger?
That's good. That's really good. Yeah, because I can't remember mine. I was an Eagle. I stopped, I think, one before.
Yeah, life.
Was Eagle,
That's
though.
really good. That's really good, though.
Is that it, life?
Yeah.
My dad was Eagle, though. I give him props. Books? How about one last book? Do you do business books or just kind of you're in the business?
I'm reading all day, every
Yeah.
day, So there's a new book that I've downloaded recently by Roger Sipe, and it's a business book. I can't remember the title of it right now, but I've been reading it as a part of a series of workshops I'm going through for CEOs, and
Nice.
we're talking about time management right now, which is part of the book. So that's part of my life too.
Yeah. That sounds like an interesting course in general.
Yeah.
Time management is clearly how you've been able to do everything.
Yeah.
You know what's important. You know what you need to do. Prioritizing, getting your lists. Anything else?
I don't know. If you could somehow create an 8th day in the week,
Yeah.
that would also help with my time management.
Or 3 more hours and an 8th day.
Yeah, that would be, I don't know. That would be tough. That would be really tough.
It would be nice, though.
Thank you for being here today. I really appreciate it.
You too.
It's nice to get to know you.
You too. I think this was really fun.
Thank you.
Thanks for opening the office for a day, or a couple hours. And yeah, thank you.
All right.
Congratulations on the office. I love this place, and I hope for continued success.
Thank you. Come back often, okay?
Will do.
Bring
Thank
your
you.
friends.
Yeah. Sign them up.
You're going to leave with something with a brand, with a logo on it today. You know that.
That's fine.
So,
I'm
all right.
happy to. Especially, I would definitely take one of those.
All right. There you go. So you're going to get this one right here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
You are welcome. All right, that was the Braincast with Michael Plageman, right? Plageman.
Plageman. Yep.
Plageman. Clearly, I can't do it on this. With my last name, no one has said it right ever. So Michael Rattay, so that's why I'm always nervous, and I don't want to mess up other people's.
That's okay.
You'll be watching this somewhere on the internet. Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed it. If there are, we'll do the fake. Below us, I'm sure there's contact information. Probably at the bottom of this video is where Michael's number will end up being, and my web address. And so, see you around.
Awesome. Thank you.